Hello, my practice partners. I have earlier I recorded a very nice progression that you you as my practice partners can try to improvise on. I recorded it. I'm still, you know, it's just there are there are so many ways you can improvise over any progression. I recorded it, but I'm going to give you I'm going to show you I'm going to tell you what chords it entails. The first chord is C minor 7, but you can play C minor 9 if you want, if you like. The next chord is F minor 7, but I recorded F minor 9. The next chord is D minor 7 flat 5. The next one is G7 flat 9. The next one is F minor 7, but I recorded F minor 9. And then it's gonna be back to C minor 7, and then from here the progression modulates to D flat, the D flat scale, D flat key, the key of D flat. Now then the next chord for that, in order to the next chord, the first chord for the D flat progression is going to be E minor 7, but I'm going to play no E flat minor 7. I'm going to play E flat minor 9. Then the next chord is going to be A flat dominant 7. I'm going to play A flat. I played A flat 9, 13, and then of course D flat major 7th. Basically, those are the chords that are involved in this progression, and I'm gonna play it, and you can listen to it. You can listen to it, and you can try to improvise over it. And that's how you going to how you going to approach it depends on you. But for me, the way what I when I look at look at this progression, and the first thing I look for, I want to know the pitch axis in this progression. Why? Because you have the progression contains two keys, and it could have contained more than two keys. So I need to know exactly what note that is most that is the most important note in the progression. So then I say, well, what should I do? Okay, I look. First of all, I look at the chord that the progression ends on, and then that doesn't help me much, because what about the modulation? So So in a case, in a progression like this, it's kind of hard to improvise using arpeggios. So the best way for me is to use modes. And what I do, I look at the progression, and I analyze all the chords, and the note that I see that is more um, relevant in the progression. That's the one I'm going to use. That's the note I'm going to use as my reference point to improvise over the progression. That note, it is called the pitch axis of the progression. That means most of the chords in the progression, most of them in the progression have that note in them. So that means that's why it is called pitch axis. So when I look at this progression, I can see that C is the note that is used the most in this progression. So I look at the first chord is C minor 7. So I know I'm going to use the C note as my improvisation reference note focus. So I'm going to use, for me, I would use C, because you start with C minor. So, and the next chord is F minor. Though immediately I'm thinking about C Aeolian mode, which is actually C minor scale. I can use that for the first part of the progression, and then when it modulates to D flat major 7, and I'm gonna use. Remember that I said that the only note I'm gonna use as a focus point, as a reference point, is the note C. So I'm gonna, because that means for I'm gonna use a mode that starts with C. It doesn't matter how many sections with different keys that the progression has. I'm going to use C as my note to start on, to improvise over all the sections of the progression. The only difference is the C is going to be depending on the key I'm playing, depending on the key that I'm going to improvise over. That C is going to be that C mode I'm going to use is going to be different modes. So in the key, so now in the key of, well, I got C minor, I'm going to play C minor. In the key of C minor, I'm going to play C minor scale, which is C Aeolian. But C Aeolian belongs to what key? Okay, C Aeolian belongs to E, the key of E flat. Okay, that's the sixth note of the key of E flat. Okay, so if I would forget how to play the intervals in the C Aeolian mode, I would just go ahead and play the E flat major scale, the E flat, the Ionian scale. Then that will lead me to the C Aeolian mode. The next one, then when you switch to the E flat, no, to the D flat key, the key of D flat, then it's going to be C also. I'm going to improvise using a C mode, but it's not going to be C Aeolian, because now I'm in the key of D. So in the key of D flat, where is the note C? In the key of D flat, where is the note C? Okay, from what I can see, that in the key of D flat, C is gonna be the Locrian mode, the seventh note of the seventh note in the key of D flat. So it's gonna be, so there's two sections in this progression, and I'm going to use two modes with the same root C, but different modes. The first one is going to be Aeolian mode in the key of E flat, and the second one is going to be Locrian mode in the key of D flat. I'm going to play the progression so you can listen to it. Okay, there you go. See, here's the progression. Okay, that is the progression. As you can hear, it modulates to D flat. So I'm going to we're going to do let's do something like let's do something like a case study of this piece of music when it comes to how the progression is structured. Okay, so I'm going to use E minor I'm going to use the E. Now I'm going to use the C Aeolian mode to improvise over the first section. And I'm just going to play it in the way that I play this scale. Because you remember in the scale the scale has two sections, and those sections are called tetra section. The lower upper tetra section and the upper tetra section, and between the two there can be a whole step or a half step depending on the situation. So I'm going to, let's do a case study. Let me play the first part and try to play the Aeolian mode in the key of E flat, and which is actually the C minor scale. Let's see. That's what we can get out of that. Okay, let me see. This is where it modulates. Okay, so I'm gonna play. Let's play the first section again using the E minor, not E minor. I mean the C minor scale, which is actually the C Aeolian scale in the key of B flat. Right now we are doing a case study to see what mode to play, but I'm going to play. The only mode I'm playing is C mode, but two different mode with the same root. Okay, let's try this again. All right, there you go. The first section with C minor scale. C minor scale. Now you can hear the change. You can hear the modulation from the D flat. So that was the I play the C Aeolian mode in the first section of the progression. Now I'm going to play this C Locrian mode for the second section in the key of D flat. Alright, so we can practice it first. It's going to be D flat. Nope. Okay, so it's two tetra chords, two tetra section in the key of in the key of D flat also. Two tetra section, tetra four notes. The first tetra section and the lower tetra section and the upper tetra section. Okay, and they're separated by either most of the time a whole step, but it can also be a half step. Let's see how we can play. So we're going to use the Locrian mode in the key of D flat to improvise over the second section in the piece. The Locrian mode is the seventh note. Okay, it's the seventh note in the key. So we play a scale starting on the seventh note of the D flat, and then we get Locrian mode. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we can do. All right. Okay. Okay. You hear the Locrian the. Did you hear the modulation? Now I still play C. I still use C as a mode, but now it's not the Aeolian mode I played earlier. Now it's the Locrian mode because that's a different key I am improvising on. So it's a different mode. Now it's C Locrian mode. So let's go back and do it again. Okay. 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 So of course, I'm trying to explain to you how you can approach it, but of course, I made some mistakes, playing it, but that's okay because that's the way we're going to learn. So the thing that you have to remember, the best way for me, the best way to improvise is to use modes, and once in a while you can go ahead and if you can add some arpeggios sometimes, and then maybe use the pentatonic scale or stuff like that, and then so you can get some kind of a mixture of stuff. So that's the way I look at it. So go at it. Here's the progression again. Try. Try.